Welcome. So let's play Lords of Xulima. It's kind of a weird one to describe until we get in. It's an indie CRPG, turn-based combat. It feels like it was inspired by Etrian Odyssey and Baldur's Gate 1, from what I played of it, which admittedly was like a couple hours a few years ago. Unfortunately, the game does not have native borderless windowed, so we're going to be playing in 1440p. Yeah, well. Let's see, the developer Numantian Games, I don't think they've done anything since, really. Let me check. Oh, no, never mind. They are billions. They did a big thing. That, like, horde survival city builder. So, they're doing good. But let's go ahead and start a new game. Play on
so deep
veteran.
Sleeping that I felt as if I were drowning in the darkness and silence, as if time itself had stopped. I was on the Isle of Brina, far from the great war that consumed the grand continent of Rodinia. I heard a voice whispering in my ears, and I felt as if my body was being lifted up. I could not open my eyes, but I could see the firmament clearly, as if I had been pulled up to the stars.
Gowlin, hear the voice of Golat, the architect, the master of dreams and constructor of matter. The world is in agony. The guardian of souls is gaining power over the lords of Xulima. Our strength diminishes. I have watched you from the stars. I have chosen you to be my herald, my hand on earth. You must complete the mission I am giving you. Eradicate the evil that profanes the divine temples of the creators. Gather your party and sail to Xulima, where no other men from the west have set foot. Let the currents of Naliet and the breath of Taliet guide you to your destiny.
The voice trailed into the stars, like a whisper carried away on the winds. Finally, I was able to open my eyes. Had it all been a dream? I wished it were so, but I knew it was real.
So you must generate the group of 5 characters that will accompany Galen on his trip. You may choose to create those characters or use the default group. Let's go ahead and create a character. So Galen is a explorer, but I don't really have a way to look at what that does. Let's see. I'm going to need, well, a tanky armor guy. Let's see. 9 classes we can choose from, the Explorer class being unique to Galen. Arcane Soldier, Mage, Thief, Cleric, Divine Summoner, Paladin, Barbarian, Bard, Soldier. Let's go for, oh, right. There's a delay. Arcane Soldiers believe that power is achieved through mastery of both steel and magic. While an Arcane Soldier cannot wear equipment as easily as a soldier, they make up for it by imbuing their weapon of choice with powerful elemental magic, allowing them to deliver blows which are effective against most enemies. 3 HP per level, 2 power points per level, that's what PP is. Magic Realm Energy. That basically which spells pool they pull from. Let's see, 5 resistance to cold, electric, and fire, the basic elements. Innately having 1 sword, 1 armor, 1 bow and crossbow, and 1 flaming strike skill. And their attributes are 9 strength, 8 con, 10 dex, 9 speed, 7 energy, energy being your casting. Mages are learned and wise, able to understand both physical and elemental laws. They are adept at exploiting enemy vulnerabilities due to the wide array of spells at their disposal. While raging storms and inferno are within their fingertips, mages find it difficult to withstand the rigors of frontline combat. 1.75 HP per level, 3.25 PP per level. energy domain, 5 cold and fire resist, 10 electric resist. You do get 1 level in pole weapons and daggers and armors, but I think that's mostly for stat stick reasons. And 1 skill in sparks, which I think is your default attack spell. 12 energy is their notable statistic. Thieves, despite their questionable origins, are masters in manipulation of mechanical objects and devices. They have an affinity towards picking locks as well as spotting and disarming lethal traps. In addition, the thief's cunning allows him to perceive secret doors and hidden switches, which most would miss. In combat, they favor fast strikes and mobility. They have 10 to all resistances, which you would think a soldier would have. And they have loads of skill points spread out. 1 sword, dagger, bow, crossbow, armor, lockpicking, perception, trap, disarming, and shuriken. 11 agility and 13 speed are their primary statistics. Clerics are devoted to a deity and enjoy a unique communion with their chosen god. As long as they are devoted, they are able to manifest various divine powers in times of need. These powers can protect the group, repel wicked beings, and heal injuries. 2 HP, 3 PP, divine magic, 20 divine resistance but no other resistances. Pull weapons, maces and hammers, light heal armors. 11 energy is their... Oh, this is pure caster clerics. Like, this is cloth clerics. Divine Summoner. The Divine Summoner has a very special divine power such that when he concentrates, it can bring the heralds of the gods to the earth. These mythological beings act according to their own wills on the behalf of the summoner. Their physical existence is brief and requires an immense power that few are able to master. This class is part of why I think Etrian Odyssey was actually an influence, because that is how the, I forget the name of the class that summons things in Etrian Odyssey 3, but that's how that class works. 10 divine resistance, 1 pole weapon, 1 dagger, 1 armor, and 1 point each in summon Herald of Naliet and summon Herald of Raznet. 14 energy is their primary statistic. Paladins are seen as divine soldiers and protectors by the people. They spend as much time training for combat as they do worshipping their deity. The auras and blessings the paladin brings with him are invaluable to any group. 10 divine resist, 5 mental resist, 1 maces and hammers, 1 pole weapons, 1 armors, 1 aura of healing. Barbarians are the most battle-hardened of all warriors, wielding their instinct like a weapon. Barbarians' physical strength and stamina are unmatched, so it comes as no surprise that they rely on brute force rather than technique to overcome their foes. Even a lightly armored barbarian can be fairly difficult to take down. 6 HP per level, 10 cold, electric, and fire resist, and 10 organic resist. 2 points in maces and hammers, swords, axes, armors, and 1 point in rage. 13 strength and con. 0 energy, though. Bards are musicians and singers with a profound passion for songs which can inspire the group in combat or send the enemy down a spiral of madness. No strangers to the acquisition of gold, they are also fairly good at appraising items. 3 HP, 2 PP, mentalism, 20 mental resist, 1 point each in bows, daggers, and armors, as well as Song of Courage as a default skill. No notable attributes, though. And Soldier. Soldiers are warriors who have been trained in the wielding of weapons and execution of powerful techniques, able to handle complex weapons with ease, and equip the heaviest of armors. The soldier is a sturdy frontline combatant. 4 HP, 1 PP, 5 cold, electric, fire, and organic resist. 2 points in all the martial skills. So, you know, for a frontliner. Gestork? Okay. Oh god, we have to choose a god. Let's see here. We only have to read through all these once. Disciple of Naliet. The Lady of the Seas. She's a compassionate goddess who governs the tides and oceans of the world. A single tear from Naliet can cause endless tidal waves to surge, while a single moment of joy may soothe the most rebellious seas. She's the most empathetic of all the Julnari, and cares deeply for each and every living creature. 5% max HP. Disciple of Taliet. The Lady of the Winds, Talia is a whirlwind of cheerfulness and grace. Her eternal smile looks after the winds and clouds, gently guiding them across the land. However, should her mood change, so too shall the weather be altered. Warmth and sunlight can be swept away by terrible storms when Talia is angered. 5% combat speed, which is huge if you're a DPS character. The Lord of Stone and Earth, it was the powerful Kursket who shaped the surface of the earth into its present form. The many valleys, canyons, and mountains of Xulima, I've been saying it slightly wrong, obey only the most stubborn of the Shulnari, and none are as immovable as Kursket. They all end in et, except for Golot and Yul. The Lord in Fire and Fury, as long as magma flows within the Earth's molten core, none can command Velvet. It was he who lifted the sun into the firmament and stoked the Earth's inner flames. It is said that his divine fury is manifested through erupting volcanoes, a sign that Velvet is by far the most temperamental and unpredictable of all the Shulnari. The Lady of Nature, she is the caring mother of all that grows in the wilds, and gave life to the world's flora when it was but a barren desert. Every single tree of Shulima's forests is considered to be a sacred gift passed down by the goddess herself. The Lady of Beasts, fierce animals and other wild creatures are her children, their instincts reflecting her personality. A free, protective nature empowers Raznet with the spirit of an indomitable warrior. The Master of Dreams and Works. He is said to be the most clever god and possesses the power to control the mind of any creature of his choosing. He is also the architect and maker of the world. The divine temples and magical artifacts he has built have no equals amongst all other creations of the gods. Experience gain 4% is interesting because I don't know if that gets you any extra levels, because I believe this is a finite XP game. I could be wrong. Alnayet, the Lord of Radiance and Life. He rules over the stars in the firmament as the most powerful of all the Shulnari. Some would even go as far as to say he is the king of all Shulnari. He alone possesses the ability to breathe life into the creations of the Lords of Xulima. Yul, the Lord of Darkness and Death. Yul is the guardian of souls who injects souls into new lives and then takes back those souls under custody once those lives have come to an end. Alnayet, his antagonist, is the only one who can match his power. Together, they complete the cycle of life. I'm caught between initiative and resistances. I'm going to go for initiative for you. Let's see. Choose the weapon type to start with. Let's see. Axes apply stackable wounds, which cripple combatants' action rolls. Maces apply stunning duration on a hit. Bows are slow to use, but can apply stackable wounds. Not as much as axes, though. Swords apply bleed. And poles inflict stuns. Let's go for maces and hammers. Let's see. Could make a barbarian, Denfaris. Gonna give you extra strength, axes. Now for the back row. My typical rogue, of course. Who needs combat initiative, as well as bows and crossbows. Sarnea, my mage. I guess I'll give extra PP, pull weapons. There's none I really love for this one. I guess the circlet works. We need a cleric, of course. Who will take resistances? Pull weapons. Alright, start the adventure.
It was said that it was to be the darkest and bloodiest age in the history of man. On the great continent of Rodinia, the two largest kingdoms began a great war that would drag every country and village into an endless stretch of death and chaos. Many begged and prayed to the gods for help, but the gods never answered. In the safety of Brina, a small island in the far east of Rodinia, the echoes of war thundered louder with each passing day. In those ill-fated times, those who govern our destiny decided that I, Gowlin the explorer and navigator, would do my part to shape history. So I was chosen by Golat, the Master of Works, to be his herald on Earth. In that time, I understood very little of the true meaning of those grave and profound words. The gods who once lived on the lost continent of Xulima years ago were engaged in battle with the Guardian of Souls, and as their power waned, the power of their enemies waxed. Golat commanded me to sail to Xulima, and once there, liberate the sacred temples of the divine. Little hope remained in the world, as long as our Lord Protectors continued their battles beyond the distant stars. Without them, nothing could stop the ruin of Rodinia. And so, it was then that I gathered my allies and set sail from Brina to the east. The wind and the currents guided us across the vast ocean of Morovia. The clouds and the mists were our constant and only companions. 2 weeks later, the clouds divided, and at last we felt the light of the sun once more. And there it was. Beyond the horizon, the land of legend. Xulima, home of the creators.
I feel like it's more interesting to describe a continent as not being ancient. Left mouse button to move, hold down control to run, you can auto run. Right mouse button to interact with or to examine something. WASD to move the map. I do have the Talisman of Golat micro DLC, so basically every once in a while I'll get a bonus from it. Suddenly you feel like something is vibrating below your feet. Let me see. Am I being drowned out? Nope. Okay. You look down and notice something is shining under a pile of dirt. It's like an ancient medallion. When you touch it, you feel like its energy passes through your body, and for a moment you are paralyzed. Seconds later, without knowing how, the medallion is now hanging from your neck. The Talisman of Golat seems to be made from ormal, a material almost indestructible. It feels cold in your hand and glows with a blue light that appears to be beating. You feel as if he harbored some kind of consciousness.
Ready to serve, my lord.
The talisman is called to touch. When you make contact, you can feel it vibrate in your hand. Suddenly, the talisman lights up. A voice that only you can hear begins to reverberate in your head. The voice is ancient and wise with a slight metallic echo. Who dares awake the voice of Golat from his slumber? Speak, Whoever you are, if you are not worthy to possess me, you will suffer the wrath of the most powerful divine artifact created by Golot, the Master of Works. Huh? I'm Gowlin. I found you here on the ground. You were lost. Gowlin, the explorer, the navigator from beyond the great sea? So I am. Then it is you, the Herald of Golot. Forgive the impertinent words of this ancient and insensitive artifact. My owner hid me here for you alone to find me. My destiny is nothing less than to serve the Herald of Golot in the absence of the Master. I accept your assistance with pleasure, Talisman. Tell me about yourself. I am the second divine artifact created by Master Golot to aid mortals. To them, I am known as the Voice of Golot. And what was the first artifact? The Hand of Golot was the first. It is a master key, the only thing that can lead mortals to the powerful divine artifacts which were led in Xulima by the Xulnari thousands of years ago. And now you belong to me. I belong only to the Master. He has commanded me serve you and aid you in your divine mission while he is not present here in the world. And how can you help me? My knowledge is at your disposal, my lord. My words are always wise, for I am the voice of Golot, and my counsel will be of great use to you during your mission. Furthermore, there are other gifts the Master has bestowed upon me. You need only ask, and I will use them to aid you. However, my powers are not without limit, and quickly are exhausted. And how do you recuperate your powers? My powers depend on my bearer. As long as he continues to acquire knowledge and power, my reserves will replenish little by little. I also have the ability to detect spheres of power that exist in the world. If you encounter one, do not fear, but make your way to it and I'll be able to absorb its power. Each gift I bear has a different cost associated with it. Take care. Only avail yourself of my abilities when you truly need them. So for 20 charge, we can refill our food gauge or get some extra money. 30 charge, we can emergency heal one person. Or Ariadne thread, basically. I can improve attributes of one companion for 40. Gain a skill point with one companion. Or for 100, I can improve everyone. I'm going to be saving for that as much as I can. That'll be all. We have 5 torches we can use. And let's see. Combat formation. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Herbal recipes. We can actually use different herbs to do things. We can gain stats. We can turn certain herbs into plants. I think there's certain classes can make it cost less to use these, but I'm not 100% sure. We have a journal that's actually pretty detailed. We can choose our... we can see the cutscenes. We can see quests that we currently have and cleared ones. We can see notes that we found based on the map we're in. We can check the bestiary, stats. There's a score system inexplicably. Like, a lot of indie RPGs from the time, actually. Let's see, if I go here, settings, I wanted to see the controls. I want to see how I could quick save. I hit C. We can see the character sheet. Let's see. Gallon starts with an X. Brass X. It is 1-star quality of a large maximum quality. Looks like it does 7 damage, inflicts 1 wound. 10-second attack speed. Not sure what that means. Oh, wait, capacity. Heavy armors or shields may penalize the character's speed and initiative in combat. A character's maximum weight capacity can be increased by the strength and the armor skill. Okay. Gallon starts with 10 organic resist, 5 shock resist. Hang on. I need to... There we go. Oh, that's not... There we go. That's much better. 15 attack, modifies hit chance and maximum damage in combat, as well as the potency of bleed. Bleed, stun, and wound effect, depends on the equipped weapon. 7 max damage. 9 initiative, which is default order. 9 evasion. 20 gold. We have 5 lockpicks, 5 torches, 3 shuriken. We can see that Gowlin starts with 1 point in axe, sword, and bow and crossbow, so he can be a frontliner or a backliner if you prefer. 1 point in armor and 1 point in perception. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory. Gain attack value with weapons, gain armor weight. Perception. Ability to detect traps, secret doors, or treasure concealed in the environment. The skill is used automatically each time the party moves. We also have 1 point of knowledge of herbs. Ability to collect or spot concealed herbs, fruits, and mushrooms. More supplies can be gathered each time such items are collected. Currently allows us to get basically 1 to 1.2 herbs. We also have an active skill, Camouflage. Explorer applies his mastery over natural concealment to disguise the entire group, allows the party to avoid encounters with wandering enemies. Powerful enemies cost more to avoid, but increasing the skills level will reduce how much it costs. And we have no spells. Guest Orc has, like we discussed, 2 points in basically martial skills. Starts with a mace, 24 attack, 9 max damage, 4 stun. You do 1 wound. Dunfaris is interesting because she has the Rage skill. Basically, a crit chance. But that's still, like, pretty nice to have. Hero has this bow. So, 21 attack, 6 damage. 1 wound. 15 initiative, which is nice for starting to stack wounds. Shurikens are consumable, as we saw, so you get a lot of juice out of them when you have the skill. Sarnea has energy, sparks, 4 PP, 8 to 12 fire damage, pretty basic. But we have a lot of PP. And Talon, our cleric, has light heal, of course, 6 to 10 HP for PP, so that's 3 casts in 1 combat. Alright. Start looking around. Things light up, you can interact with it. 50 gold. Galen the Explorer has the ability Knowledge of Herbs, which allows him to gather plants, herbs, and mushrooms. The more you improve this ability, the more you'll be able to harvest from each plant you find. When you have enough samples, you'll be able to use them to improve an attribute or resistance. Pay attention to how much food reserves you have. As you travel, rest, and perform actions, you'll consume your food reserves. Without food, you cannot rest. This is a contentious mechanic. There is a mod that basically, like, doesn't literally remove it, but basically removes it. I may end up using it, but we'll see. Without food, you can't rest. When you rest, you gain HP and PP, and you can cure any wounds you've received. When traveling in some terrains like deserts or snow, you'll use more food than normal. Try to stay on roads and paths if possible. You can get food by buying it from the vendors in villages, finding it in sacks or barrels, or by finding it in nature. But also, like, at the same time, I'm planning on investing in knowledge of plants. So it might be, like, a non-issue for me. And also, food does repopulate over time. Beyond the forest stood a human village. Could there really be humans living in Xulima? Legends told us that in the past, men and gods walked together over these lands. What if they know something about Rodinia and the kingdoms in the west? Oh yeah, take that, Fly Amanita. There's no adverse effects to that. I'm probably not going to be buffing any stats before doing that, but you know, it's my liking to do everything I can at once. Okay, here goes. Each enemy has strengths and weaknesses. Combat order functions through a turn-based system. The order of turns is shown in the column on the right-hand side and is based on the speed and conditions of combatants. Combatants lose turns if they're stunned, paralyzed, etc. When it's one of your character's turns, you'll see actions available to them on the screen. Select your action. You may... This is tutorialized for people who have never played an RPG before, which is really interesting. When you select your action, you may need to select a target for that action. Only polearms and projectile weapons can be used from the back line. By the same rule, combatants on the back line are protected from most attacks by those on the front line. Use combat grid on the map screen to set combat positions for your group. During combat, you can also change the position for your party members when it's their turn, or you can pull them out of combat to try to flee. Alright, so it's Hero's turn. Okay. You are still getting the next turn. Go ahead and cast Sparks. 8 to 12. Try and finish you. Dang. I don't like that their HP bars go away when it's their turn. Honestly, yeah, just go for the bonk. I'm more likely to kill you before your next turn. I forgot that this game has a reach mechanic. Okay, I can definitely finish you off, at least. $36 XP, 42 gold. As we get more abilities, the Etrian Odyssey influence will become more apparent. Let's see, Ascari Warriors. Hero uncovers a small leather bag from under a rock. The bag contains 46 gold coins, because I think it was under that pillow. Here we get 4 cloth suit, 4 cloth boots, 200 extra gold. Let's see. I'm going to throw that on to... Gastork as my designated tank. Gallon spots a few rare plants which could be useful. You collect 2 units of Tapanella. Okay, never mind. It's basically random events. What is it? No stranger enters the village of Velagarn without paying a toll. Toll? To enter the village. I come from a faraway soldier. Is this how you receive visitors from other lands? It's the law. This village is under the protection of Prince Nengorth. He makes the rules. Pay the 100 gold and you're free to come and go from the village as you wish for a period of time. But watch yourself, stranger. Make trouble and you'll be taken to the temple. You must pay the toll by order of Prince Nengorth. I enter goodbye. Stay away, stranger. Going to short rest until healed. We do have a torch system when it's dark. I don't think I can do this, but much as the toll. Eventually I'll be able to do this, but probably not right now. I'll pay nothing, soldier, and going in, and if you're smart, you'll stay out of my way. Perfect, I'll enjoy the practice, slaughtering you and your worthless friends. Yeah, I'm not winning this. This is a boss fight. Against a group. I'm gonna speed up my inevitable loss. Yep. That's about right. Here's your money. Move along, stay out of trouble. Come over here and take a look at the job postings. Maybe you'd like to earn something for your troubles.
Welcome.
Greetings, strangers. I'm Galvan, master and trainer. I welcome you to our village, though you come in dark times. You don't look like you're from around here. Where are you from? You come from the Isle of Brina, the far eastern region of Rodinia. Rodinia? Brina? All my travels, I've never heard of these places. Where are they? It's obvious the inhabitants of Xulima know nothing of the great continent of Rodinia. You decide not to discuss it further. You also decide to keep silent about your divine mission for now. It's a small, remote place. It's not important at all. Tell me, friend, what brings a group such as yourselves to Velagarn? We're on a mission, but I can't say more. Judging by how the soldiers of Nengorth treat people at the gates, this doesn't seem to be a very friendly place. Galvan lowers his voice and almost at a whisper says, "Shh, be careful with what you say, my friend. The Prince of Nengorth has eyes everywhere. That said, the people of Velagarn detest him like a sickness. When his forces invaded, they killed many innocent people. All those who resisted and were not killed are now locked up in the Temple of Febret. The Temple of Febret is being used as a prison? What? Has the news of Arthurian's fall not reached your lands? Arthurian? Who's that? We appreciate any information you can give us about this region. Galvan's eyes open wide as he carefully examines your face, looking for a sign you may be joking. I find it difficult to believe you know nothing of Arthurian, my friend, but I'll tell you what I can. Arthurian was the one king of men in Xulima. He ruled these lands for many years. So many, in fact, he appeared immortal. It said he was the favorite of the gods, but when the Makers departed, Arthurian's life force began to diminish like a dying candle flame until eventually he disappeared. The kingdom was inherited by his 4 sons. Nengorth the Silent took the region of Nabros, Cornil the Enchanter took Karaga, Darthenos the Beastmaster took Devonia, and Ovengel the Tormentor took Nagira. They've been cruel and terrible governors. They started a war against the priests in the temples and massacred them. They took the temples, converted them to prisons, and prohibited any worship of the lords of Xulima. For that reason, they are known as the Impious Princes. So be wary, my friend, not only here, but in other villages as well. That said, you're safer here than in any of the surrounding areas. The world is now plunged into chaos. Terrible creatures that once existed only in stories and legends now roam the lands. If the lords do not return, I do not know what will become of us. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you for your advice, Master Galvan. Arthurian was the great king of men in Xulima, seeing that he was held in high favor of the gods until their disappearance. After him, his 4 sons divided the kingdom and began a reign of terror over the lands of Xulima. They massacred the priests and turned their temples into prisons. Is that what Golat spoke of in my dreams? Is my mission to cast the armies of the impious princes out of the temples? How can I help you? Tell me about yourself. I'm Galvan the Trainer. I used to train the soldiers of the castle of Nabros, but when I was taken by the prince, I was expelled from my post. None but those who have joined the prince's army or sworn an oath of submission may enter the castle. Now I am simply trying to make a living. For a small fee, I can offer you my services as a trainer. I can help you develop and improve your abilities. I'd like to know more about the sacred temples. Never has there been a graver insult to the gods. Nengorth and the rest of Arthurian's children invaded the temples and massacred the holy priests. They converted the temples into places of death and condemnation. This is why they are known as the Impious Princes. Why have they done this to the temples? Nobody knows. There are rumors and hearsay, but nothing seems to make sense. If you want to laugh, ask Odred the Hermit. He claims to have witnessed a terrible incident involving the princes. In my opinion, the man is crazy. It may be worth trying. Where could he find this hermit? Last time I spoke to him, he told me he was going to live in the golden woods of Sarentia. It was the last I heard of him. It's a dangerous place. I really hope he's okay. According to Galvan, Odred the Hermit knows something about the Impious Princes and their relationship with the Divine Temples. The Hermit lives in the golden woods of Sarentia, north of Velagarn. I must make my way there to discover what it is he might know about this mysterious subject. I'll try to find him. And how can I enter the temples? The temples have been sealed with enchantments and can only be opened with a special key. I know nothing of the other temples, but the key to the Temple of Febret is in the hands of Nengorth himself, so you can forget about entering. Why would you want to do so anyway? I have my reasons. I'll find a way. Tell me about Prince Nengorth. His castle is in the east, in the region of Nabros. Take care, for his forces protect the temple, the village, and all the border crossings. Someday that cursed man will get his due. That day will be remembered and celebrated by the people of Velagarn. Take courage, my friend. That day may be closer than you think. Let's see. Improvability of through training. So, gain skill point, 100 gold. Use your newfound potential wisely. The party has gained a skill point. All characters can use it. So there's buyable skill points, job postings. Here you'll find various requests posted by the townsfolk. Complete one of those tasks, let me know, and I'll grant you the reward. Dobrik's Ring. 200 XP, 400 gold. Azalea of Velagarn wants to recover the ring owned by her husband Dobrik. The last time Dobrik was seen, he was heading for the Rat Cave near the Tower of the Melancholy. You can reach the cave through the southeast gate of the village. Okay.
Until next time.
So, let me save real quick. So now, if I look at your skills... How do I spend? Okay. No. I don't see anything that indicates I have skill points either. Let's see, it takes 100 XP to level up, and XP is split. And Galen has the 4% XP. Do I need to find trainers to actually spend the skill points? That would be strange. But we've made it to Velagarn, our first hub town. So next time on Let's Play Lords of Xulima, we're going to have to check town out. See you then.